Where will it stop? The overwhelming slideshow by Business Insider. Washington U. Democrats are on pace to have the largest presidential primary field in campaign history, and its growth shows no sign of slowing. As of Friday, there are major candidates in the race U17 if you count 3 other semi-well-known contenders, U and almost half-dozen others who are expected to announce soon. It's difficult to make precise comparisons, since analysts debate about who counts as a major candidate. But without a doubt, so what are Democrats to do with so many choices? This. On April Fool's Day, the Des Moines-based Polk County Democratic Party would have to expand a long-running, one-day event to accommodate the huge field too. After all, the Democratic National Committee was not joking when it took the unprecedented step of expanding its first debate to make it over 2 nights to accommodate up to 20 candidates, 10 each night, and it has it in place should there be more than 20 legit candidates, and it needs to winnow that field to keep the debate number at 20. Set for June 20. Some experts worry all these options will lead voters to choice overload, decision fatigue, and anticipated regret, which is like getting buyer's remorse before you even make a decision, because you worry you will get it wrong. Kopeler, who recently wrote an essay for Politico magazine titled, said that when people are overwhelmed by choices, they often default to a known option, even if it's not necessarily their favorite one. She argued that Republicans, meanwhile, see the potential to pit candidates against each other in ways that could pay off for their party down the road. But Charlie Cook, a longtime political analyst and founder of the Cook Report, doubts that a long, crowded primary season necessarily spells trouble for the Democrats, noting Trump won in 2016 and so did Barack Obama in 2008. As Cook sees it, there's never a shortage of presidential ambition in Washington and state capitals, so large fields aren't uncommon, and parties wind up with small primaries only under 2 conditions. First, if the party thinks it has little hope of winning the general election, so candidates don't bother running. And second, but today, all the ingredients are there for a truly massive field, a not very popular Republican president seen as beatable. No prohibitive and there are still more Democrats readying to get in. Republic. Tim Ryan, Montana Government. Steve Bullock, Sr. Michael Bennet, Stacey Abrams, the African-American rising star from Georgia, meanwhile, is deciding whether to run for president, Senate, or do something else. Then, of course, there's Biden, who was outside his childhood home in Scranton, Pennsylvania, possibly filming a campaign launch video. This coming wave of white men minus Abrams has some Democrats wondering if the 2020 field really needs any more of them. Timing.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.